this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your daily horoscope and energy reading for November 23rd. And on the 23rd, the sun moves into Sagittarius. Now, the sun represents in astrology your inner desire, your core, what drives you internally. It's the deep desire within you to pursue anything that you have in your life. Now, your sun is related to your sun sign. And so often when people ask about what sign they are, they ask what their sun sign is. But really, honestly, the sun sign is just like saying we're Caucasian, right? Or we're African American. Like, it is just a small portion of us. And then we have all of the other planets and all the other factors that make us who we are. But the sun is definitely a good gauge on how to work with somebody or how to get to know somebody, because you will, if you are trying to appeal to them deeply, then knowing what their sun sign is and knowing the characteristics of a sun sign is super helpful. So when the sun moves into Sagittarius, it means that our core aligns, who we are. We align with an energy that is asking us to broaden our perspectives, to think about us, the individual that we are, as a collective, that we actually affect the world. And how do we go about doing that? It asks us to analyze the big picture, you know, and not just about us, because a Sagittarian energy isn't just about them. It's about taking a look at everything culturally, and it's about taking a look at things philosophically and how religion is impacting us and politics. And it's really about taking a look and analyzing everything collectively. So in your life, you're going to take a look at how you are impacting everybody in like a collective mindset. So you'll look at a lot of your relationships. You'll want to socialize more. You'll want to interact with people. You'll want to be a little bit more diverse in your thinking, because I think at this point you're testing boundaries of who you are. And that's what all of these energies have been doing. You know, with Uranus and Aries, it's defining us as an individual. And all of the tests that we're having and all this Uranian energy is just really honestly breaking us out of collective thinking that has conditioned us in really poor ways, poor coping methods, and has really honestly shook us to the core. Now the energies are going in after it's kind of scrambled those eggs a little bit. It's allowing us to lay them in a nice smooth pan and see what are we looking at now? Like, what are we? Who are we? What can we do? How can we serve others? How can we make a positive impact? How can we change our lives? How can we help be of service to others? These are big questions that all of you are going to start to feel an inner desire to take a look at. You're going to want to be more vocal about the world. You're going to want to be more vocal about politics and its impact. You're going to want to debate with people about your opinions, because your opinions mean something, because you're trying to change outcomes. You're going to be much more determined to make a positive impact on people. You're going to be fun-loving and outgoing, and you're going to want to feel the good life, you know, because whenever you plug into Sagittarian energy, and we're going to have a lot of it, and this week is so crammed full of Sagittarian experiences, and really honestly, really testing very limitations within ourselves as Sagittarian energy, the sun and Saturn align, and then Mercury and the sun align, and then the sun's moving into Sagittarius. This really honestly is asking us to take a look at the bigger picture. This is elevated thinking. This is the higher mind. This is the psychology of people. This is philosophy. This is big stuff. So if you guys just stay tuned, I will tell you how this will affect your sun, your moon, or your rising sign. Hi Aries, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for the sun moving into Sagittarius. Now, I'm going to do these readings really short and sweet because I have a ton of events that are happening and I can't possibly do all of them with tarot card readings. So here we go. For you, your ruler, Mars, is going to be in Libra. It's going to be in the 7th house. And your ruler is going to be sextiling Mercury in Sagittarius. So let's talk about Mercury in Sagittarius and your ruler. So you have a super optimistic outlook on love partnerships. You're very energetic. You are really honestly optimistic at this point in your life. You are weighing all options. There's a lot that's going on behind the scenes that people may not necessarily know about you. When you're in this energy, you have a really strong vision for what you want at this point. Sagittarian energy is aligning with your core. And so you may have some very out of the box thinking when it comes to partnerships, or some of the normal boundaries that people work within partnerships. You may be blurring some of those lines because you honestly are open to multicultural relationships, to age boundaries that most people would not tread in. You are maybe open to relationships that have interesting dynamics, open relationships, relationships that are not committed, but you guys have a relationship of some sort. So you may be open to those types of relationships at this point. And you really have a strong and invigorating outlook on it. I don't think you want to box yourself in as much right now. And for those of you that are in really committed relationships, you're probably in a highly experimental phase, a very fun-loving phase, like let's get out there, let's go have fun, let's go, start spicing up this relationship. I mean, you really have a brand new enthusiasm. I think for those of you that are not in relationships whatsoever, have no intention of relationships, you have built relationships at work. For most of us, we spend, between 8 and 10 hours at work. So for you, you could have relationships with people at work that are testing some of your boundaries, your very limited belief systems in partnerships at work, and the authority, where you see your authoritarian outlook in that work. For you, it's very important to be in a position of authority and management, in a position where you're a leader. And if you're not in those roles, then sometimes what can happen is if you try to steer the boat in your job, then you can get a pushback from people. So I would be very wary of the fact that there could be some power struggles at work. There could be some challenges with recognition, I think what it is if you are not in a partnership and if you are not leading a household, then what you're trying to do is lead your job, right? Lead the direction of your job, lead the relationships in your job, lead the people in your job. And that can cause pushback. So if it were me and I want to stay in the highest vibration of energy, just make sure that you direct all of your love, your passion, your need to lead, your perspective in relationships outside of the job, because you're going to find that's when you connect with all of this sextile energy. If you're pushing relationships at work and you are not aligned with a partnership, then you may find that in this energy, you could have some areas where you are maybe too blunt with people and they don't like it, and so you're getting called out. Or maybe people are starting to play some mind games. There's some stuff going on behind the scenes that you're not exactly you didn't actually know about. The stuff becomes revealed in this energy. You could become very impatient and restless in this energy for some recognition. So, and become very judgmental about your coworkers, judgmental about your managers. So be just super careful of the fact that if you want to stay in high vibration and if you want to stay in that sextile energy, then you get yourself a relationship outside of the job so that you can direct all of this in a really positive way. Thanks so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi Taurus, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Saturn, for the sun moving into Sagittarius. Now for you, all this is going to be happening in your 8th house, and your ruler is going to be in your 6th house. So, and it is in a lovely sextile with Saturn and Sagittarius. So for you, you are going to be aligning yourself with partners that encourage you to have very powerful coping methods. They're going to be encouraging you to be healthy. They're going to, really promote and align you with really positive coping methods. When you do this, Saturn is going to take recognition of that. Saturn is the planet of control and really likes that you're starting to control some of these things that you have not been able to control up to this point. So if you really want to stay in the highest form of this vibration and energy, then I would say align yourself with those people, especially those partnerships that are really promoting you. Saturn is a good planet to have on your side. It can be a very malefic planet, but can also be a planet that really goes in there and becomes a benefic planet if you are doing some of the things that it respects. So in this energy, Saturn is going to want you to adjust your personal perspectives on the way that you've been living your life so far. And that is taking into account of the fact that how your coping methods have affected others in your life. This is also about a time of introspection. There is going to be some time for you that you're going to be spending with yourself. The relationship that you generate with yourself is probably going to be the most important relationship that you generate. And when you are in a really healthy relationship with yourself, that in turn will then make you have healthy relationships with others. And so you're going to find that nurturing this relationship and having a point of introspection about it is going to be very vital in expanding the consciousness that you're going to be asked to do. Now, if you, and I believe many of you are going to have some power and control struggles during this energy. I believe that some of you are going to, as you're grasping these new theories, as you're coming up with new ideas about how you want to live your life and the way that you want to structure your life, I believe that some people are going to challenge that, believing that you are incapable of making these decisions on your own because if they're judging you from your past, and that judgment is going to be very difficult for you, and you're not going to find that you align with it very well. So I think what you need to do is just concentrate on you, align yourself with you. The most important relationship that you build is with yourself, and as you do this, you will show them, you will be a living example that you have the ability to change these things on your own, that you don't need people to make these changes in your life, that you have the capability to make positive changes in coping methods in your life. I think in the past you may have relied on others too much, and so the people in those roles are still playing in those roles. And that could be that challenging energy that I'm talking about. But understand, you helped create that dynamic. And so now, as you are aligning yourself with you, pulling yourself together and making choices for yourself that align yourself with a much more positive person, I believe that as you go through your life and you show them that you have this capability, then in turn, it's going to have a cascade effect. But there's going to be this weird, iffy period in your life where people are going to be challenging you, especially your partnerships. And they're going to want to make decisions for you, and you need to stand firm and stand strong and say, nope, I'm making decisions on my own. I'm aligning myself with my sun. These concepts and theories, they may be outside of the box thinking, they may be new concepts, but you know what? I'm willing to take on these new concepts because I want a different life for myself, not because you tell me that I need to have a different life. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hey Gemini, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for the sun moving into Sagittarius. And for you, of course, this is going on in your 7th house. Mercury is going to be in Sagittarius in your 7th house. And it's going to be aligned with the sun in Sagittarius, 7th house, and Saturn in Sagittarius in your 7th house. So lots of partnership, marriage, unions type energy. Also, your ruler is going to be sextiling Mars in Libra, and it's going to be squaring off with Neptune and Pisces. So let's talk about the astrological side. You have a lot of energy in Sagittarian energy. You really, really do. And so it is time to open yourself up in relationships. Now, this isn't going to be the most traditional thought processes in relationships. And I think you're really optimistic and enthusiastic about outcomes and futures in this area. And I think as you align yourself with your desires and you open your mind up and you release some of your fears and you start talking deeply about what you want and what you expect out of partnerships, then you start to feel this control and this sense of the fact that you're expanding your consciousness, and the fact that commitment doesn't seem like such a scary word for you as long as you're able to have freedom in this relationship. If this relationship is a hyper-controlling relationship and this person is trying to control you, then what you may find is you may have this squaring off energy in Neptune where you weren't exactly, maybe you didn't know or didn't see that partner as a person that would be this controlling or not get caught up in this optimistic outlook. Now, here's where you are at. You're a kid in this energy, right? You're enthusiastic, you're excited, you're very clear about what you want right now. And if you're not, you are having conversations that is making it clearer and clearer and clearer about what you want. And as you're doing this, I think what's happening is that you're starting to get a strong vision, a very clear and precise vision about what you want moving forward. Now, this is mutable energy, and you are a mutable sign. So as you're going, you're molding and building, as you're having more and more conversations with people that you consider significant anyway, you are molding and building this mindset, and it's incorporating lots and lots of opinions, and you're validating those opinions because they're relationships that you really, truly, deeply do value in your life. You have this bright and sunny outlook. Now, if somebody is coming into your life and not letting go of the past and not letting go of some of the things that you went through, I think that that's where you could be having some difficulties because you're genuinely into it. You're genuinely optimistic. You're genuinely willing to move forward. But it is sometimes difficult to get people on board with that dreamy mindset that you have, that you can just make a start from today, right? So you have this new concept, this new passion that you are about, but sharing it and getting somebody on board with it could be very challenging for you. I would suggest that you take a look at the way that they communicate and you replicate the way that they communicate. So if they're not a very dreamy person, then I would really honestly listen and validate them as human beings and validate what they have to say, because I really believe that can make some of this passion that you have for this particular union or moving forward, or this creative energy that you have to change an outcome, I really believe that it could start to make that happen. I believe that somebody in your life, or perhaps there used to be a dark mindset, or there was a darkness in your relationship, or there was a spot in your relationship where it was in a low vibration. And I believe that pulling it out of that is such a trial right now, because that person doesn't want to get on board with where you're at, and it's super challenging. I say hang in there. I say you're an enduring energy. You're very intelligent. This is elevated thinking. Start thinking outside of the box and communicating on that level, or start looking at it from a different perspective, or their perspective, and learning and really observing. Observation is going to be key in this energy. Observation really is. If you feel like you are not being validated, then I say pour your heart into something that does validate you. And as you start taking positive actions in your life, and you start setting forward some thought processes that make people respect you, as you start to take action. And look, words are words. Anybody can say words, but it is the action that makes a difference. So if you want somebody in your life to feel like the center of the universe, then make them feel like the center of the universe. Circle your world around them. Really dedicate your energy and your time to really putting power into this relationship. Give it your heart, give it your ego, give it your all. And in the end, what do you have to lose? Like, if it doesn't work out, then you move on and you move forward and you expand in this energy, and it just adds to another wonderful life experience. Thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. This is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for the Sun moving into Sagittarius, and for you, dear Cancer, the Moon at the time when this initiates. The Moon is going to be in Aries, and it is going to quincunx the Sun in Sagittarius. So the Sun is your core, your inner self, your deep desires, the passion that lies within, the drive that we have, the burning desire that we have, the spotlight on our soul, right? And then we have the Moon is our emotional momentum. So at the point of initiation, that ignite point of when these energies switch over, there is a highly volatile energy. There is a quincunx. This quincunx is an opposition that is flat opposition. So there's an opposition between your emotional state, how you align yourself with self, how you feel about yourself, what you as an individual, what you desire, right? We're not talking about how you identify yourself as a nurturing energy and home and family. We're talking about what you want, what you desire. For some reason, what you desire is not aligning with your emotional state. So there is something feeling off. Now, this event is going to be happening in the 6th house. So this has to do with the fact of how we're coping with adversity right now. Something is not aligned. You are out of balance. Something isn't feeling quite right. And so when you cope, or one of the ways you cope is you hide, or you retreat, or you become very introspective to the point of almost like analysis paralysis. You can't get outside of your head. You are stuck in the past. You are stuck in the event. You are stuck in negative energy that won't allow you to break free. When this happens, you are no longer aligned with your emotions, but you're no longer aligned with the core, the desire. It's like, I feel in this energy, it's almost like you don't know how to align yourself. Like there's something, you feel something is coming, and you feel something is very different, and you feel like you need this emotional momentum, and you have it, but it's like you almost don't know what do you desire deeply? What do you desire enough to want to move forward with? There lies the question with you. You don't know. It's not as though you don't, when you lock and load on something, it's not as though you don't know how to get it. You are somewhat passive in the way that you get it, but you get it in this weird, subtle way, but you always get it. But it's like you don't know what to align yourself with. I mean, I really believe that as all of these energies rocked every form of your foundation, I really don't believe that you know what to align yourself with. So you're very protective. You're in shutdown mode. You have a wait and see mentality. So that kind of aligns with Sagittarian energy. Anytime that we have Sagittarian energy, we're in a very introspective mode. We're in that mode where we elevate our mind and we look at everything from a higher perspective. And we really are trying to decide how we want to move forward, but we want to do it precisely because we don't want to get hurt anymore. You don't want to have some sort of anything that you have to live through. I feel like the imbalance lies in this energy, and this quincunx, this intense energy lies as you go through this transit. You're going to start to want to decipher and figure out. You're going to want to figure out, because you've been humbled in some way. You want to feel confident that the direction that you're going in is the direction you should be going in. And it's super hard because there really is no surefire thing that says, yep, I'm going to go in that direction and that's the only direction I'm going to go because that's guaranteed success. And I think that that's what you want. You want some really, you want somebody to tell you that you're doing something right, or you want some reinforcement, or you want some sort of partnering energy, or you want work to be validating you. But it's like you're not validating yourself. So, and you're not in a form of prosperity internally or externally. You're not where you want to be for some reason. And so this is causing you to be very introspective. Introspective energy is highly supported in this, and quincunx energy is great. Quincunx energy allows you to really reveal where some hidden fears are in this energy. You're trying to create that rock solid foundation, and you're trying to align yourself. I would say that you really need to start to be more selfish about how you move forward in energy and how you move forward with yourself. Anyhow, guys, understand we're at the beginning of this energy source. When I talk to you about this, there are many levels that you go through. There's 28 degrees that you go through, right? Before you switch over and you get the full it's like you get a present and it's in a box right now. It's got a pretty bow and you are unveiling it. So as you're unveiling it and as you're taking the layers off of the wrapping, and then you're looking at the box, and then you're pulling off the tissue paper, it's like you'll figure it out. You'll figure out why your emotions are not aligned with your sun at this point, but don't worry about it. Thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. This is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for the sun moving into Sagittarius. Now for you, all of this is going to be happening in your 5th house, and the 5th house is a wonderful house for you. It's the house of pleasure, of creativity. It's the house of children. It's the house of romance. It's the house of just fun. It's really fun energy, and it is aligned, your sun, your core, in Sagittarian, in this fun, optimistic, sunny outlook. Let's party, let's have a good time, is going to be aligned with Mercury, which is the way that you think, right? And the way that you process information, but which is also in Sagittarius. And then Saturn, which is in Sagittarius, all conjunct with each other, all working together. So this is about taking a look at your life as a whole and broadening your perspective on it and really having a lot of fun. To me, this suggests, oh my gosh, if you wanted to plan a trip with an intimate relationship, this is the energy to do it in. It's super fun, optimistic, it's lighthearted, it's about going out, traveling, seeing the world, seeing what you could do with the world. It's about lots of engaging conversations with others. This is about, for some of you, this could be about multicultural relationships, right? You could be, engaging in relationships that have weird boundaries or weird borders, and they blur the lines of normal conventional relationships. So some of you may be seeking those types of relations. Online relationships are big right now. If you're seeking relationships with people from foreign countries, that's super supported, because communication is going to be pretty effective during that, and you're going to be able to grasp other cultures very easily. Also, the Sun in Sagittarius is going to be sextiling Mars in Libra. This suggests to me that, especially since all this is going to be happening in your third house, that you're going to have a quick mind. You're going to want to absorb information. This is about taking your immediate environment and elevating it and broadening that environment. It's about you're not stuck in a certain mindset anymore, in a limiting belief system. This is about opening you up to new belief systems. And it's about taking your mind and elevating it to the point to where you consider different perspectives easily. It's not like you're challenged in this energy. It's just an easy flow of energy for you if you really wanted to. So if you were mixing and mingling and talking with people, which you're going to feel very sociable in this energy, I suggest that you do this. It's a lovely time. Plus, it's a very, people generally around this time of year start to get in a lot better mood and have a lot better energy. If you are wanting to stay stuck in limiting belief systems, then you're going to find that all this Sagittarian energy challenges you as a person, as an individual, because it's really wanting to push your boundaries. It's wanting to push that need to explore, that need to break free from your limiting environment. You're gonna feel you need to test your boundaries. You need to break away. You need to break away from controlling environments and from environments that block you in. And you need to, although you need to stay dreamy, you need to be very realistic about it. But this energy, as challenging as it can be for some of you that are stuck in the lower part where you are having a problem, you're very impatient, you're not very subtle, you're blunt, you're getting caught up in the debatable part of this energy. If you're in a limiting belief system, or if you're in a limiting mindset, then what you could do in this energy is you could become debatable and try to stand up for what you believe, but you're going to find that people are going to challenge you in such a way that actually causes you to engage throughout this transit. This transit's a long transit. You go through 28 degrees of a transit, so where you start, not necessarily where you're going to end, but it is definitely a romantic energy. It's a time to get out there. It's a time to mix and mingle. It's a time to be flirty and have fun and engage, and it's highly supported. If you're looking at it from an energetic point of view, I really think you need to always consider that you're not right? So if somebody comes up and challenges you in such a way that it's going to make them almost look kind of attractive to you, because you can validate them enough to consider their new perspective. And that's really super important, especially if it's in a romantic endeavor, because anytime that anything is based on your heart, you tend to listen to it more. So I would validate any source that is coming from a heart-based person, because you're going to see that. If you get combative, and get passionate, and get engaging and get debatable, because this energy is kind of like a lovely energy for that. And if you find that you get super debatable in it, it could bring about some of the most interesting conversations you've ever had. Anyhow, thank you guys so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi Virgos, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for the Sun moving into Sagittarius. And for you, all of this is going to be happening in your fourth house. Now, the fourth house is the house of family, home. It's your roots, your heritage, your ancestry. And so this is also a place where we take a look at everything. We take a look at our lives as a whole. So we base it on how we grew up, and then we look at how we're moving forward, if we're moving forward successfully in some of the long-range goals that we've wanted since we were a kid. So Mercury in Sagittarius is going to be in the fourth house, and it is going to be conjunct the Sun in Sagittarius and conjunct Saturn in Sagittarius. So the Sun is our innermost desire, our core, what drives us internally from deep within, that passionate part of ourselves. It is then aligning with the way that we think, our environment, your ruler. So we're looking at our environment. We're processing our environment, our immediate environment, our day-to-day environment, but we're looking at it on a bigger scale. We're looking at it as a whole. It's not about just this day-to-day living. And if we are doing a day-to-day living, then is it encompassing what we want to be on a broader scale? Also, we're looking at it from a Saturn point of view. And the Saturn point of view is it wants you to be very introspective and learn to control your environment, because if you control the way that you're thinking and you control your perspectives and you control the way that you look at everything, then you can set really powerful goals moving forward, especially on a day-to-day level. So for you, also your ruler is going to be sextiling Mars in Libra. And Mars in Libra is going to really give you that passion to open you up to different perspectives and to align yourself and to weigh things out a lot easier and to learn how to be somewhat emotional, put some emotional momentum behind these things. Also, align yourselves. Like, you need to take a look at what you value at this point. Value on a deeply internal level, because as you do that, then it'll broaden your perspective. Now, we're also going to be taking a look at what we valued as a child, or what we valued as a kid, or what we didn't value in the way that we grew up, and we want to manifest a different life for ourselves. So all of this stuff is really swirling around us, being very, very introspective energy. So for you, if you have been dreamy or unrealistic in an energy, or if you are unable to be dreamy or unrealistic, or to think outside the box, or to be creative in your thinking, then you might experience some challenge in this energy, I want to say, and that's okay. So I want to say how you stay grounded in energy is going to be something that you're going to take a look at. Now, there has been a lot of challenge and a lot of pushing and pulling us and bending us like this, and seeing where our fractures lie as we've had all this Jupiter energy in Virgo. So don't be surprised if some of this has dredged up some stuff that you really wanted to change. Okay, so I know that I definitely wanted a different outcome than my parents had, so I really focused on that. So if that's you, then you're taking a look at that. You have a decision to make, and this decision is it's very valuable internally to you. But what that allows you to do is it's challenging some of your perspectives, and that's difficult. So that's causing you to be introspective in this energy, and that's okay. It's also causing you to be a little bit more vulnerable, I want to say, in this energy, as you're opening yourself up to these new perspectives, and as you're taking a look at your life as a whole. I think where you experience the most square energy in this is when you really start to think about it, when you get caught in analysis paralysis, where you're just thinking and thinking and thinking and you can't stop. Look, you have Sagittarian energy pouring into you. This is the elevated thinking. This is where you think on a philosophical level. This is where you think on a level that is very, very elevated, and you're tying that into your life, and you could be caught in analysis paralysis. Don't get caught there. This is a big transit. There's powerful Sagittarian energy that is going to be aspected all week, really helping you to define and control and to isolate this information that's coming in. So don't get stuck. Don't get worried. We have a lot going on this week, and there'll be some clarity. As we move through this entire transit, believe me, it's like an onion that you're just peeling layers of it. Don't worry. Thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological Libra, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Saturn moving into Sagittarius. And for you, all of this is going to be happening in your third house, and your ruler is going to be in your first house. So this has to do with how you process your environment on a day-to-day level, right? This is how you communicate. This is your thinking on a day-to-day level. This is how you share your thoughts. This is how you process your environment, process your thoughts, process conversations with people. But we're also dealing with Sagittarian energy. So this is making it really open up your thought process and really take a look at everything from a big perspective, from like an overall perspective. And so as you are communicating, you are really factoring in a lot at this point. So the things that you're factoring in are your partnerships. Of course you are, because you are partnering energy, but partnerships are going to be highlighted in this issue, So one of the things that I see throughout this week, and we're going to have a really weird week, is that you are going to have some challenging aspects when it comes to the difference between home and family. They're going to challenge you. The family, your roots, if it's family coming over for the holidays, if it's their perspectives on how you're running your family, your partnerships, are they equal partnerships? Are they putting forth effort in this partnerships? You are going to be setting some standards, some very definite standards of how you feel empowered in these relationships. If you are having conversations with family members and those family members are challenging you about how you're running your family or running your life, or when they come over, it's like they don't get that opinion of your life. You run your household, you run your life, you run your partnerships. You are equal in your partnerships. Equality is going to be a very big deal for you. Equality with your family members, equality with the kids, equality with everybody. It's not like you're going to run yourself ragged trying to make everybody happy and serve everybody else while forgetting what you need on an internal basis. This is new energy as you are breaking free from some of these limiting belief systems that you used to have about partnerships, and you are starting to demand equality in relationships. You are finding that people are challenging your perspective, and that's okay, because these challenging conversations and these ways that these belief systems that other people have, the good thing about them is that it really allows you to define what you want moving forward as an individual in a relationship. And it can make you somewhat unpredictable, and that's good. That keeps you engaging. That keeps you fun. And for your partnerships, I really honestly believe that you are going to start to redefine your roles in these relationships and in family and in your deepest partnerships. So on an energetic level, you know what? You're standing firm, you're standing tall, you're gaining strength, you're gaining position in how you want your role to be in life. And you're leaving behind old mindsets and limiting belief systems. And who doesn't get on board with it? So sorry for them. This is something you're very passionate about and something that you're very introspective at work. You've had a lot of energy working in your 12th house and your first house. And honest to God, when you feel this kind of energy, you're redefining. When Uranus and Aries combine, it's redefining your role for yourself, but redefining your role for others. You are individuating yourself. So yes, you define yourself in partnerships, but not just in partnerships. You define yourself as an individual. And that's very important that people see that and realize that you are valuable as an individual. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event.